I used a free online tool to generate these beautiful infographics on the life story of an ancestor in my family tree. Look over my shoulder and I'll show you exactly how to create these timeline infographics in your own preferred style. Here are the steps I'm going to walk you through. You'll pick a person in your family tree. Then you'll export their life events as a PDF. I'll show you how to do that with a few clicks. Next, you'll upload the PDF to the free Google AI tool called NotebookLM. If you haven't seen it before, just follow exactly what I do. It's really simple. And then I'll give you some custom prompts, that's text that you enter. You can copy and paste them into NotebookLM to produce whichever one of these formats that you like. And as a bonus step, if you have a different style in mind, I'll show you how to get free ChatGPT to give you the right prompt. To create the timeline of one of my ancestors, I'm going to use my family tree on Ancestry.com. If you're using Family Tree Maker, go to the Person tab and you'll see the Timeline button to create the timeline report. Other software or online sites, you should find a timeline report option. I'm going to generate an infographic for this particular person in my family tree. Click on our entry. I want to produce a PDF of her life events. So I'm going to go to her profile page and I land on her Facts tab. And this is actually the tab I'm going to use. Now I want to get more details into the timeline before I go ahead. Specifically, I want the locations of our children born, the addresses. So I'll go to expand this toggle here and I'll choose to include family events in the timeline. What comes in are both the birth details of her siblings, and if I scroll down, I now have the births of her children, and it does include the location details of the births. So having included as much information as I want in her timeline, I now am going to export it or save it as a PDF. And Ancestry gives you a nice tool to do that. So up here, expand the Tools menu, choose Print. And here we get page that we can save as a PDF by going up here to the top left, click Print, and you can see that it's how many pages? 2 pages. Over here in the destination, if it isn't set to save as PDF, if it's set to something else, make sure that you set it to save as PDF, and then click Save. It'll name it as the name of the person. I'll just put in a bit more context of the file. I'll call it Mary Gamble Life Events. I'll save that. That saves in the folder of my choosing on my local machine. If you're familiar with NotebookLM, then you can skip this intro and go to the next section. First step is to go to NotebookLM. Let's just stick NotebookLM into Google here and I'll go to the main page. So I'll click on this main page and then I'll click on Try NotebookLM. You just need a Google account for the free version. So you come to this page here. What you want to do is you want to create a new notebook. So I'll just use this button up the top here, this Create New button. The first thing you see, it does pop up this Add Sources. I'm going to just close this. We will come back to this page, but I'm going to close it and give you a bit of an overview. With NotebookLM, you get 3-panel page. Over here on the left will be your sources, uploaded PDFs, documents, links to websites. Here, I'm not going to do anything here with this middle pane, and this is basically the chat. I'm going to ignore it completely for this exercise. And over here on the right is once you've uploaded your sources, you do the interesting stuff over here. So now we've got the lay of the land. The first thing we want to do is upload our sources. And over here on the left pane, I am going to click the Add button. And the source I'm going to upload is that saved timeline from Ancestry. This is where I saved it. Choose that, click Open, and it pulls it in. And it will give you a summary here of what's in the document. Now let's focus on this right panel, which has several tools. You can generate a video that is kind of a slideshow, or an audio podcast on the sources you upload. I've got several tutorials on this YouTube channel on using these other tools for genealogy. But down here is the infographic button. At the time of recording this video, the infographic tool is very new. Notice it says beta, and there are some aspects that don't work so well. I'll warn you later about how to avoid the bugs. If it doesn't say beta when you're following along with this video, drop me a comment and let me know. Okay, so let's get cracking. Don't press the button yet because it would immediately start generating using default options. But we want to give instructions on the layout and format of the timeline. Click on this little pencil icon and you get the option to enter custom instructions. It's fun to experiment with this, but you only get 3 generations of infographics within a period. If you use up your free credits, you just have to wait. So I've got 3 prompts that you can download in my prompt pack. The link is in the description below. In the PDF, you can look at the different styles and pick which one that suits you. So let's say we want the first option, which is quite a traditional windy timeline. I want to set this to be portrait mode as opposed to the next one, which is landscape mode. And then for all of these 3 prompts I'm going to give you, choose the standard. And this is where I just want to warn you, where you see detailed and it's in beta mode, you might think, well, it's even better to get even more information crammed into the document. Some people report that in the detailed mode, there's more likely to be spelling mistakes. I haven't found that to be the case, but I do find that there's too much information in the infographic, so I prefer the standard. So I'm going to toggle back to NotebookLM just to show you me picking these choices. So here I am back in NotebookLM. I haven't actually picked anything yet, just to show you again how I got here. I clicked on the little pencil icon, pops up this customization window. I'll leave it in English. If you're using a different language, let's say French or Italian, do double check the spelling of words before you show it to other people or share it with other people. But definitely with English and the standard level of detail, I'm finding the spelling is correct. In the case of the vertical winding timeline, I want to change this from landscape to portrait. And then here is where things get a little bit more complicated. Here is where we can input a prompt. I am going to bring up my prompt pack. The layout that I have in the PDF is I've got the instructions I just told you here, standard and portrait. And then under prompt, you'll see the instructions I'm giving it. So I'm going to copy Control C and Control V, and then I'll explain it a little bit. I want a vertical winding timeline. It's the winding that gives the classic timeline look. Focus on chronological progression, flat, minimalist style, and I wanted to use cool blues, cyan, teal, and blues. If you want greens, etc., give it those choices. Essential path layout, and then the typography is clean, sans serif. I don't want it to be a kind of a handwriting style. I want it to be a kind of easier to read and easier to print style. I want simple flat icons and no complex shading, simply because I find that, again, printing that looks a bit better. And once I've given it the instructions, I click generate. And notice how it starts generating. This can take a while. It can take 10, 20 minutes. You can close down this entire window, close down your browser, and come back, and it's either still generating or it'll be finished. So if you follow these instructions, you've probably got one item here, and it's probably not going to be called prompt 1 portrait or one of these others. I've simply renamed the output just so that I can keep track of what's where. In order to rename it, I hit that ellipsis and click rename. To look at the output, that very first prompt that we gave is that prompt 1 portrait. To look at it, just click on the item, and it takes a few seconds to bring it up, and here it is. You will likely want to grab it to download it. To download, click this button here, and it will come down into your downloads folder as a .png file. If I click that now and just bring it up here, here it is as unnamed .png. Do run your eye over it for spelling mistakes. For me, I was particularly interested to see that the place names like Creany, Grilly are correctly spelled. I will say that in other AI infographic tools, it's the spelling is what really lets tools down. So this is a real breakthrough in the generation of words on images. If we go and take a look at that second prompt I had, which was landscape, let's take a look at what that is like. It really depends on whether you enjoy this style. But I do like the New York imagery here, the ship, etc. And if I go and look at the last one, prompt 3 in my pack, which was a square style, and I did say that this was for students and to make it colourful. I'm thinking of a classroom, so I click on here. And I guess it depends on whether you have younger children. I'm not wild about the cartoony style. You may really like it. I'm going to show you the beta. What happens if you do pick the detailed version? So I'm going to click the pencil icon again. I'm going to click Portrait, and this time I'm going to choose Detailed. And I'll just paste in my winding timeline again, and I will click Generate. So after waiting about 30 minutes, I'm back, and this has finished. I'll go take a look at it. Remember, this is the detailed version. Zoom in a bit. Okay, so this is new, and that is about her brother. It would be easier if I could have shown these side by side. So I just pull up the original one that was not detailed. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 entries in the timeline. If I go back to, this is the detailed one, 2, 3, 4. If I scroll down, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, there are some more entries. It's not hugely different. And actually, the spelling is fine. I'm not seeing any spelling mistakes. So it really depends on whether you want census, residential details, for the details about siblings, etc. You can try both. I've seen reports from other people saying that on the detailed version, spelling mistakes are more likely to occur. Okay, I'll close that. So I said I'd give you bonus material, and here we're going to use another free AI tool. I've given you 3 sample styles here, and I've given you the prompts for those styles. But let's say you have a completely different style in your head and you're not quite sure how to express it. In this case, I recommend using the free ChatGPT to help you with creating the prompt. I will go to ChatGPT. First thing to do is to give it context for the task. I am using AI to generate infographics of a timeline for my family tree. So I have in my head a Victorian style. I'm not quite sure exactly how I want to express that. I wanted to use an old-fashioned 19th century Victorian style. Please give me the prompt. Click enter and let's see what it comes up with. So I'm going to modify this a bit simply because it's decided that this is across multiple generations, but in fact my timeline is for one person, so I'm going to take that piece out so I don't confuse NotebookLM. So I'm going to take the outcome of this, I am going to modify it a bit. So what I'll do is copy this. I'm going back into the pencil icon. I'll make this portrait. Keep this at standard, and I'm going to Control V, and I'm just going to amend this just so as I don't confuse NotebookLM with what I want. I'll just take out the details. Infographic timeline. Illustrating. Okay, I'm going to take this piece out because I don't want to illustrate a full family tree across multiple generations. It's for a single person. I say for a single person in my family tree, designed in authentic 19th century Victorian style. Okay, all of this is really good. Great instructions. I like the typography. The bit I didn't want was anything specifying the dates and the names because I don't want it to get too caught up with dates and names. Yeah, I like the period appropriate decorative elements. Really love that. I like the color palette as being muted and historical. And the one thing I just want to take out is this genealogical chart. I think that could be quite specific instruction. So I just take that out just in case it's not what I want. Victorian museum quality historical document. Elegant, scholarly, and timeless. Really like this. I am going to hit generate and I'll see what it does. So this is finished. I'll go take a look at it. Visually quite different from the others, right? I'm going to download it and just open it as an image file. So it's down as unnamed one. Just click on that and bring it up here. Visually, this is amazing. All of this is the filigree, yeah? Then I scroll in and like just even that representation of an Irish country cottage from that time is actually better than the other ones. Scroll out a little bit. There's the ink pen again, just being or icons from that era, the old watches. I love the old car in Brooklyn. A bit of heraldry down here again. All looks fantastic. However, there is a somewhat glaring issue with it. If we just look at the dates. So we go 1889. I'm following this scroll as being, the wavy or the winding timeline, but I'm gone 1901, 1913, 1921. But I go from 1921, start of a family, to 1920, marriage. As you can see, the dates are the wrong way round. And then we go down to 1946, passed away, and then on to 1940, settled in Brooklyn. And that's really pity because it looked so great, but it's just not got the order right. In the other, much shorter prompts that I gave, the order was correct. So perhaps it's the much more detail of that particular prompt. It made it pay more attention to the look and format as opposed to the details. What I would do next, if you're having this kind of issue, and really what you can do is you can go back to ChatGPT and say to ChatGPT, the AI I was using got the events in the wrong order. Please modify that prompt you gave me to ensure that it has the events appear in the right order. I'll let ChatGPT give you back the modified prompt and give that a go. Get this right and, put that up on my wall. The best thing for you to do is to play around with these free tools and see what it comes out with for you. There are tutorials on the YouTube channel about using NotebookLM, specifically about using the audio overview and the video overview. Take a look and you might find something that you enjoy. If this was useful and you got this far, I'd really appreciate if you give me a comment and a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. Best of luck with your family research.